Sports. I'm Damon Bruce, and it's time for a little NBA basketball. It's a Saturday presentation of the NBA. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. And with the game about to get underway, let's head to Kevin, Clark, and Steve, who are courtside at Staples Center.
And the Lakers going through their pregame routines. Well, the weekend obviously is in full swing, and so is the NBA. Hey, thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. Here with my broadcast partners, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. First, for Minnesota, Rubio and Martin manning the backcourt. And at the pivot, a bruising and physical 6'11", 290-pound center. A battering ram in Pekovic. Then there's Buddy, and it's Love in at the fourth. And for Los Angeles, Nash and Bryant in the backcourt. And holding down the middle out of Central Michigan University, the skilled and ambidextrous 7-footer, Chris Kaman. Then there's Nick Young, and it's Gasol in at the four spot.
Well, Minnesota won 31 games last season, but only 11 of those came on the road. For a team that was battered and bruised heading out on a lengthy road trip is often a recipe for a losing streak, and that was the case for them last year. The injuries just really bogged them down.
Picking up again on the Timberwolves. Road travel can be especially tough on them, just given the geography where their home city is in relation, Steve, to the rest of the NBA.
Well, particularly in relation to the rest of the West, because, you know, there the Timberwolves are up north and kind of in the middle of the country. So they have a lot of long trips. But, look, there are no excuses in the NBA. I mean, everybody's got their own adversity they've got to deal with.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the first points of the ballgame. Young's shot is off.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
Martin gets a screen from Pekovic. Martin with it. Gasol covering. From the wing. Misses off the right iron.
Guys, for Kobe Bryant last season, you talk about adversity. I mean, the coaching change, the team struggle, and finally, once they started to get back on track right at the end of the season, he tears his Achilles tendon. Tough break.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Nick Young. That's his first foul.
Yeah, close, but I didn't think he got on balance quickly enough.
And it's hard to draw charges as quick as players are at this level. That's not an easy bit of work there.
Now here's Love. Pekovic. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Pekovic has got his first points of the night. And for Kobe Bryant, the completely torn Achilles tendon. You wonder if his big minutes contribute. At age 34, he's second in the league, for instance, in minutes played. He averaged almost 46 minutes a game in the 7 games leading up to the injury. And this is a guy that when he is on the floor, high torque at all times.
Well, there's no evidence that playing all those minutes led to the injury. We know that the Lakers were in a huge battle for a playoff spot, so it's easy to see why the coaching staff decided to ride him like that. But it does make you wonder, at his age, you know, was that just too much for him?
And Rubio kicks to Martin. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Martin's got his first points in this one.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Kobe dishes to Kaman. Shot to stop the run, and Kobe lays it in.
Boy, the 5th time for charm. That's a big basket there.
The Timberwolves have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. The try by Rubio. Here's Buttinger, and a miss there on the triple. The Lakers have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. And Young kicks to Kaman. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down. This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over
Well, I just, you know what, come on, I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up. I mean, he threw it down with force.
Martin with the bucket.
And the story of this game in the early stages is just how well they've been shooting the ball.
Steve, their percentage from the floor is really impressive up to this point.
Now here's Kobe. Gasol, a screen on Martin. Kobe, the pass to Nash. Off target from outside.
Almost surprised that he had that much room to work with.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Rick Adelman gave me just a few minutes with him. I asked about their game plan defensively, and he said, well, we all know it starts for them at the point guard position with Steve Nash and his combination of elite shooting and passing ability. We really have to stick to our principles and work as a team if we're going to have success against him. Guys, we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Doris. And Hill throws it down.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Yeah, what a way to wrap up that possession.
You know, offensively last season, guys, the Lakers just never seemed to be able to get out of their own way. I mean, they had the worst turnover ratio in the league, and they really struggled to take care of the ball. And even when they got up a shot, a lot of them were questionable shots. They shot the third most threes in the league, but were in the bottom half of the league in percentage.
Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Rubio dishes to Love. Back to Rubio. The feed now to Love. 6 on the shot clock. No good. And it's the Lakers the other way. And going back to the Lakers' offensive troubles last season, the worst free throw percentage, Steve, in the NBA.
And obviously that's attributed directly to Dwight Howard, because the Lakers also led the league in free throw attempts. So Howard was getting hacked. He really couldn't get it going. He made about half his free throws for the season. And that just really carried over into the team's performance.
Here's Rubio after Pau Gasol's bucket. Kicks to Martin. Takes the three. Hill gets the rebound.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Ken. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Timeout call, first of the game for Minnesota. Minnesota making some changes. Derek Williams comes in for Kevin Love. And Corey Brewer's subbed in for Chase Budinger. Here's Brewer. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. In low to Hill. And counting. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
How about that play? Great body control. Still manages to finish the play despite the contact.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down.
Here's Turioff. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on the follow, just like he got there.
Kicks it out to Johnson. And the Lakers get it back. From the arc. And a great assist by Farmar as that one goes in. Johnson's got himself on the board with 3 there. Here is Berea, defended by Farmar. Schved gets a screen from Turioff. They get it back. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
Boy, where was the box out? Too easy on that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, no box out is what happened there. Those kind of mistakes on the glass will kill a team.
Just 4 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Berea. Shot is off. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
And you get a chance early on to see their depth. They got a nice effort from their bench players early in this game.
Yeah, Steve, I tell you what, their subs have really packed the punch for them so far.
I thought Corey Brewer enjoyed his best season of his NBA career last year in Denver, thriving in that up-tempo system, using that length and athleticism defensively.
A nice shot by Berea. And here is Los Angeles now. 6-point game. And it's Kaman missing. And the foul on Chris Kaman. That's his first foul. Kobe's checked in for Steve Blake. The Timberwolves shooting at a decent 44% clip here. And for Corey Brewer, defensive specialist primarily, but he has shown some flashes, Clark, offensively as well.
And that's been the key, Kevin. We knew he could defend at a high level. Now the question was, could he produce on the offensive end of the floor?
And it's Bekovic missing. Lakers leading by 6. Johnson kicks to Kobe. And the bucket counts. He's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
And he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty, the way he can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
And one of his other great qualities, Steve, is his quick trigger off the dribble. I mean, he can get his shot off in an instant, a nanosecond.
Berea with it. He's guarded by Johnson. There's the bucket. Good.
Hey, it goes without saying that if you're beat up and your all-star power forward is on the shelf, you're going to have a tough time against the big teams in the West. Minnesota was left for the wolves, so to speak, when they matched up against others in their conference.
And here's Berea after Wesley Johnson just hit the three. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Another miss by Berea.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
Well, picking up again on the Timberwolves. Last season, 17-35 record against the rest of the Western Conference, which was third worst in the conference. As Steve, you might expect, that's got to improve.
And as you said, I mean, losing so much of their front court as they did last year to injury, it's amazing that they even won that many games. I mean, if you don't have big bodies down low, it's tough to win in the West.
And Kobe throws it down.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Kobe with the steal. By himself, throws down the breakaway jam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Hey, gentlemen. Well, part of the Lakers' struggles last year was that they were constructed like an all-star team. Coach Mike D'Antoni said, quote, "Have you ever watched an all-star game? It's god-awful because everybody gets the ball, they go one-on-one, and then they play no defense. That's our team. That's us." Having a pecking order with all their big players was something he wanted to instill on their Lakers roster. We'll see if they can do a better job of adhering to that this time around, guys.
Well, that's the rub, isn't it? That's the balancing act, isn't it, Doris? Share the ball, but get it into the hands of your scorers. Pass to Farmar. Feeds it to Kobe. Puts up a three. And a great assist by Farmar as that one goes in. Farmar's got 3 assists now in this one. Berea, the pass to Shved. He feeds it to Bekovic. Kamen's there. And here's Shved from the arc. And that one's good. Shved's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
How about that? They respond to a three-pointer with a quick three of their own.
Yeah, terrific. Great back-and-forth sequence right there.
Now Bekovic following the three-point attempt by Kobe Bryant. Brewer, good. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Well, Corey Brewer, guys, was part of those back-to-back NCAA championships with those teams in Florida in 2006 and 7. A long, wiry 6'9" perimeter defender who's also improved offensively.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Kevin Love's checked in for Derek Williams, and it's Buttinger in for Corey Brewer. Now here's Shved after Wesley Johnson's miss, and here's Love for 3.
Boy, I'm shocked he didn't make that one. He usually knocks that one down with ease.
Kobe with it, now guarded by Shved. Kobe dishes to Johnson. And it's Johnson again missing. And going back to Brewer, the thin man, 6'9", about 190 pounds.
Yeah, Kevin, he can struggle a little bit against stronger players, but he's really kind of found his niche on the perimeter. Kind of a guy who can guard multiple perimeter players, and then he's a blur in transition. Offense to defense, that's kind of what he does.
This is a guy playing with a reconstructed knee as well.
Well, Kobe's never been shy about shooting. You know, a lot of people would argue that he gets maybe a little too shot happy sometimes, but you want a guy who's dominant. You want a guy who's not afraid, who's going to fail and just come right back and fire away the next time.
And And the Timberwolves making a change here. Turioff is checked in. And when you talk about Kobe's role offensively for the Lakers, it's worth mentioning last season was one of his most efficient scoring the basketball.
It really was, and you consider the turmoil that surrounded the Lakers all season. It was remarkable that Kobe was as even-keeled as he was, stayed focused, and start to finish, he delivered the type of all-star performance that he always does. Very impressive.
Here's Nash after the made shot from Ricky Rubio. Back to Young. Fires the three. That's good. And it's Kobe with the assist. Young's got his third bucket of the night.
And that kind of defense is just not going to cut it, guys. They have to get a hand in his face.
Rubio against Nash. Outside, Martin. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Well, you know what they say, lose track of your man and you'll find him at the rim. Well, you'll actually find this guy in the corner.
Yeah, you said it, more than found of those corner triples, isn't he? Hey, it's a high percentage shot. It's the shortest of the three-point shots you can take, and he's not the only one that likes it.
Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Los Angeles. There's 31 seconds left in the second quarter. Hill sets the screen for Kobe. It's tipped and stolen by Love. Martin kicks to Rubio. Gets it to go. Rubio's got 4 points this quarter.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Stolen by Buddingham. And here's Rubio with 4 seconds on the clock, and he lays it up and in. Turioff's got 6. The full court crank. And so that's the end of the first half. Lakers lead by 9. Live from the Staples Center.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
The fun has begun on this Saturday night, and we're ready to look back at all the first half action. The Los Angeles Lakers in front against Minnesota. And nice teamwork offensively, moving the ball around. What a great way to play. Some terrific basketball from Kobe. He's got 16 points and is always looking to go to work on the boards. On the Timberwolves side of things, they're managing to hang around. They've given up a ton of offensive rebounds, just not putting forth enough effort to clean the glass. A difficult first half for Chase Budinger. His shot isn't falling. He's been ice cold. That's all we've got here. Now, back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The busy streets of Los Angeles, lighting up the night sky as we continue.
Well, you look at the Lakers' struggles last season, I think it surprised most of us. Some of it was injuries. Part of it was just a lack of production off the bench. Then there was the inconsistency of the coaching and just the number of different people who were on that bench. So, difficult season for the Lakers.
Lets it go with the 3. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Gasol's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Kobe goes in. And stolen by Pekovic. And even 3-on-3 break. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Hey, Kevin, at 6'11", 290 pounds, Nikola Pekovic may be the most physically imposing player in the game. Rick Adelman said, quote, he's such a force inside. Guys just want out of there. They don't want to go against him. Pekovic said, the goal is to go inside and win the game, whatever it takes. Many people don't like when you play physical. Some respond, some don't. Kevin?
And he does. Thank you, Doris.
Well, he's a player who knows his game. I mean, he's a physical enforcer type guy, and he makes no apologies for it.
Here's Budinger. Offline with his 3. And you look at the struggles of the Lakers bench last season. When injury struck, they didn't have the players really to fill that void.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I think for the Lakers, the bold strokes for the star players have been impressive, but it's the fine details of finding undervalued role players. That's where they've been lacking. Once injuries happened, that was thrown into sharp relief. And really, even when healthy, to win a title, you can't just have a great starting 5. We know that. You need another 4 or 5 players you can count on to give you quality minutes.
Gasol passes to Kobe. Kaman trying to break free. And Kobe the bucket with the assist by Gasol. 20 points for Kobe Bryant. And the Timberwolves call time here. Here's Rubio.
You know, for Pau Gasol, calling last year a rough year might be an understatement. He fought off an injury and tried to find a role on a team that was in transition. A year like that can really take a lot out of a guy.
And here's Love from the arc. Chris Kaman pulls it in.
Well, the offense continues to struggle. Just one make in their 5 attempts.
Kobe with it. Guarded now by Rubio. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
That's not what they needed there, that's for sure.
And so it's Minnesota with it. And Steve, for Pau Gasol, he dealt with knee tendonitis from the first day of the season, then a concussion, torn plantar fascia. I mean, he just had one setback, it seemed, health-wise after another.
It was just that kind of season, which symbolized the fate of his Lakers, too. They just never seemed to get it going until it was too late. But, you know, with Gasol, we're talking about a guy who's remained effective for a long time in his career. When you have that kind of skill level, I think your game can translate as you get older.
Lakers shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
You know, it seems to me Nick Young is a perfect guy to have coming off the bench because he's a volume shooter and scorer who can get hot in a hurry. But I think his best role is to play him kind of in a Jamal Crawford type role.
Going back to Nick Young, Clark, mostly a scorer.
He sure is, Kevin, an athletic 6'7" wing. I don't think there's any reason he can't be a plus rebounder and defender, but it's clear that his focus primarily has been on the offensive end. You know, the Wolves were just decimated by injuries last year, and it really put a snag in their season from the start, with Rubio still recovering from his ACL tear and Kevin Love missing a lot of time with his hand fractures. They were missing 2 major building blocks.
Kobe dishes to Young. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And Rubio kicks to Martin. And Kobe with the block. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Kobe's got 9 points now in the quarter. And with the Wolves last year, Ricky Rubio came back and helped them turn things around a bit. But Kevin Love would end up playing very few games for him, Steve. And they never really got the chance that they once seemed to have.
Now, Love's injury, I think, just devastated this team. And Rubio, of course, coming off that ACL, he eventually made it back. But those are the key guys. I mean, Rubio and Love have to be the foundation of this club. They added a lot of three-point shooting in the offseason. So this should be a pretty well-rounded team, but it's up to the stars, Kevin.
And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. Lakers leading by 14. Kaman inside. Rebound, Minnesota.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
Here's Martin. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Martin's got 8 points.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Well, Clark, a clear line to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
1:52 left in the third. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Nash. Good. Nash has got his first 2 points of the night. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Lakers.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Well, it's the edge they've had in that area on the glass that's played a big role in this game.
And they've got some strong guys, Steve, guys that are strong and well put together, and they've used that strength to their advantage down low.
Nash against Rubio. Pekovic over Kaman. And that one's good. Pekovic has got 4 this quarter.
Well, something special about him, guys, is just how good he is at winning the so-called second shot game, going hard to the offensive glass, salvaging points with his putbacks.
Steve, another signature part of his game is the way he runs the pick and roll. He gets so many easy baskets that way. It's a play they should run for him as often as they can. Well, I like the way he orchestrated in tight that time, fellas.
And stolen by Nash. Makes the lead pass. No good from Gasol. Timberwolves trail by 18. We've got 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's Buttinger. The Lakers with the rebound.
He's giving them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
Very little success for him behind the arc today. Just one three-pointer in the first half and still none in the second.
Three-pointer, Martin, count the bucket. Martin's got 11 points. Here's Nash. Kobe kicks to Young. That's in, coming off an assist by Kobe. And the Lakers lead by 18. He got it up. Can't get it to go. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Lakers on top. They lead by 18. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Timberwolves trail by 18. Schved with it. And the call will be against Steve Blake. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Schved. Pass to Williams. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Barea. And the three ball is good. Barea's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Minnesota. Dishes to Johnson. Trying to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Schved, the pass to Barea. Outside Williams. It's rebounded by Farmo.
You really don't want to see him missing those mid-range shots, but when he's open, he's got to shoot them.
Johnson outside. Buries the long-range jumper.
Such a solid performance from them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
Farmer takes it away. There's the lob to the hoop. And Hill throws it down.
A little bit of a magic act here, pulling off the Houdini to make that catch and slam.
Stupendous alley-oop.
This crowd just stunned at the sight of that one.
Barea dishes to Schved. Passes it to Turioff. He kicks to Barea. The feed to Schved. Outside Williams. Rocket 6. Brewer. Here's Schved. Leaps for it. That'll be Minnesota as it goes out of bounds. Timberwolves retain possession. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Roni Turioff. And the Timberwolves call time here.
Well, for the Lakers last season, it seemed there was so much turmoil throughout the year. Injuries, coaching-wise, changes in the offense. And they never were able to really gain any momentum. They made a decent run at the end of the season, but that didn't carry over into the postseason when they were swept by the Lakers in the first round.
Lakers leading by 20. And here's Kobe for three. The rebound by Kevin Love. Love's got 6 rebounds in the game. Rubio right side. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. I think going back to D'Antoni and the Lakers, that Howard and Gasol were made more than a little disgruntled with how Clark made use or didn't make use of them offensively.
You know, the Lakers brought in D'Antoni to try to emphasize Steve Nash and his role in the offense, but I think they neglected how that would affect the 7-footers. Didn't do a really good job of incorporating those guys, and when you got Kobe getting his shots, that's a tough dynamic to work through.
The first free throw is good. That one is no good.
Everybody knows how brutal the Western Conference can be, and part of the reason the Lakers were able to make it to the playoffs is because they were above 500 in the West, which is pretty impressive.
Pekovic, and Hill with the block. A second chance effort, and that one's good. Pekovic.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, you know, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Well, going back to the Lakers in the West, they would end with a 28-24 record streak against the rest of the conference. That record falling right in line where they finished in relation to the rest of the West.
Well, that record was really the big reason that they were able to catch up to Utah and end up passing them for the last playoff spot. And, you know, Laker fans might not be happy with how quickly they exited the postseason, getting swept by the Spurs, but, you know, they did make a good push at the end of the season just to get in.
He dishes it to Shved, and there's the pass to Budinger. Love kicks to Shved, feeds it to Budinger, and another three for Minnesota.
They didn't get a chance to knock one down in the first, but the defense left him a look, and he nailed it. He'll make them pay when he's open.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thank you, Kevin. I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni had to say to his team. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
He has really shot the ball extremely well, as you'd expect. Like we say, he's been making sweet string music all day long.
And Rubio kicks to Shved. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. Lakers leading by 16. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Johnson from outside. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got his third assist on the night.
He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
And Hill with the block.
Solid rebound there. And with the score like it is, that's an area they just can't afford to get lazy with.
You know, I think the effort's been there, Steve, but they're still getting outworked just by a skosh. Boy, he wanted everybody in the building to know who threw that one down.
Hanging on the rim is, I guess, one way to do it.
No, it's the best way to do it, as long as you don't get teed up, I guess.
And Rubio kicks to Shved. Back to Rubio. The dish now to Shved, and that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Oni Turioff, he's checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Derek Williams comes in for Kevin Love. Corey Brewer's checked in for Alexei Shved. And Barea subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. Lakers leading by 21. Kobe attacking. Johnson, the pass to Kobe. He passes to Blake. Back to Kobe. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
1:35 left in the fourth quarter. Here is Barea, guarded by Kobe. Williams gets a screen from Turioff. It's Williams with the drive. The finger roll finish at the bucket. The Lakers have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. On the wing, Kobe, guarded by Barea.
He's normally a really big threat from long range. Struggling right now, he might need to mix his game up a little bit.
Kicks it to Budinger. Plenty of space. That one off the back iron and out.
And the rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
Robert Sacre, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Farmar comes in for Wesley Johnson. Shved dishes to Turioff, and that one's good.
Well, he recognized the advantage size-wise, and he went right at the defender. That's how you do it.
Blake kicks to Kobe. Outside Kobe. Pass to Farmar. Back to Kobe. Jacks up a three. And good on the basket. Look it. Kobe's got 41.
And a terrific run to really put this ball game away.
And now let's see how many more points they can throw up there before the horn sounds.
He feeds it to Barea. Barea off the pick from Turioff. Here's Brewer, and Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
He tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
Brewer, rejected by Young. Brewer passes to Shved. And Young, here we go. Gasol. It's good.
Just a little bit more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate the win.
Well, they can already start to celebrate, Steve, and they should let their team hear it. They were good.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys...
Just because I'm losing doesn't mean I'm lost. Doesn't mean I'll stop. Doesn't mean I'm across. I'm not afraid.
Yeah. It's been a ride.